Hello, today I would like to show the short demo for EnderTuring product. We will cover these particular steps just to make it more structured. We will return to this list during the conversation. So we will start with dashboard helicopter view of contact center operation. We work on a product, we deliver value through elevating agents performance in contact center. Would it be sales contact center or customer support contact center? And we basically work with call center operation within the customer. So let's go to helicopter view of call center operations for customer. Let's log into the system and we will see the dashboards. So the dashboards is the main area for supervisor and manager of the contact center, where the manager can easily spot the agents and which agent needs support at which area. Here we see the parts of the conversation, beginning of the conversation, main conversation part, customer service quality. It is set upable and we provide templates, but customer can easily set up more and more options here and items here. Each item may contains indefinite number of sub items. So we will go deeper to reviewing of the call and evaluate how this card is forming. And we can easily understand that some particular agents need support at some very particular areas. So we understand where to put our efforts. Also, we understand from this metadata that some of agents are like very cross-talking to the customer. So we need to coach these agents not to be as cross-talking to customer. And for these agents not generated as much silence, because the average for contact center is not 19 for this call center, 19%, and these agents generate 23%. Also in dashboards we have classifications of topics. We can easily spot which topics these calls was about for selected period, which generate more silence and which not, and which topics like taking the most of the time of the agents. So that's regarding dashboards. Let's go deeper. So how we do these dashboards? We analyze the conversations of companies' contact center and customers. So we take all the calls and we provide integrations to all call recording systems, to main contact center systems like Cisco, Genesis, Siemens, etc., etc., etc. And we collect data from these sources. We provide ability for customer to upload data through FTP, through SFTP, through S3, etc., etc. We will go a little bit deeper here in integrations. And then after these calls uploaded or automatically fetched from the source of audio in real time or after the call, we convert everything into the text. We work within 24 languages, like English, it's for sure. It's the main in speech recognition, but we also work with 23 more languages to provide this availability for contact center. And then after call transcription, we have the conversation from the audio into the text. So here is the main part what customer have in order to analyze further. So it's the first step of each conversation analytics. So here is the conversation, and customer manager or supervisor can easily jump to particular place of conversation and spot understand what is within the conversation within seconds. from our customers, we know that evaluating conversations, reviewing conversations within this textual format is 20 times faster than just listening, and customers feel confident that they do not miss anything after reviewing conversation within this format. We have filters and instant search. All of these calls are indexed, and we can instantly search content of the calls, and for analysts it would be like very important to experiment how the customers express something. Supervisor and manager can select which agents they would like to work with. For example, let's go and select all the calls of Stephen Hawking. Also, we have date range selection, we have topics to select which topics we would like to review conversations about, direction, duration, very important, silence into the call. So for example, if we would like to spot only calls and evaluate and review the calls with more than 40% of silence, and it is setupable, then customer can review this. We work with few sources. It might be audio, it might be email and chat, basically. And let's see the calls of the agent Stephen Hawking. So after the filtering of the calls of Stephen Hawking, we can see all the calls for selected period for Stephen Hawking. We can jump from the call to the call and easily evaluate what's inside of this call. And if we are interested to providing feedback to an agent, we can leave a feedback. And the agent will see this feedback. So it's a conversations view. We started a little bit from feedback. This is a feedback for an agent to say that agent is very good at something, to say the agent need to behave at some point of conversation in a bit different way, to support them, and basically to provide instant feedback and possibility to coach. As also this part is like a notes for one-to-one review, for one-to-one session, in order to provide personal coaching. So if you spot something as a manager very important, very interesting, you can just make a note here without sending feedback to an agent. Let's go to conversations review. For quality assurance and quality management, companies providing conversations review, usually they takes 1 to 3 up to 3% of conversations to review. Only 3 because it is very heavy stuff to score conversations. It's not easy. And with our solutions, we know from our customers that it's 20 times faster to score these solutions. So we provide textual information to score. We provide scorecard that can be integrated to scoring system, or can be set up by for each team. For sales team, it might be one scoring card, for customer care another, and for each sub teams it can be separate scoring card. So we are just looking into conversation and filling the scoring card. For example, Steven is, for example, bad in closing the conversation. We submitting these scores. Also, let's go. We are now in conversation review and approaching this coaching part. So, okay, now we have on dashboards. Let me unselect Steven just to see all the agents. And we can see that Steven is poor and needs support and coaching in ending of conversation. So we are, who is good in ending of conversation? For example, Albert Einstein. Okay, let's go to Albert conversations. And at this part, we can pin some part of a call as an example of good for next agents to be coached at. For example, we see that this call and this conversation is very good at the ending. So we just save part of this conversation as an example of ending the conversation call closure. And we can select by this or selecting here. So it is a closing. Save selection and let's take a hashtag closing. So we saved this conversation as an example. And now let's switch the filter off. And now when we go to dashboards and go to Stephen Hawking, we can prescribe, I will delete from the previous demo all the tasks. So I can prescribe to Stephen to go through all the conversations in playlists, 100% of conversations in playlist and in the conversation. So just to evaluate all the examples of this playlist as a good example. And for example, I give him 1 week for this. So I prescribe in him, and now I will jump to his dashboard. So here we see dashboard of Stephen Hawking. He can see only his own calls, and he has notifications that call closure was prescribed to him, and go into training roadmap. He sees that he need to evaluate to review 2 conversations, good examples of this closing. So first of all, he understands which part he need to put efforts to call closure, and he has examples of these parts. So he can jump to playlists and go through these playlists to understand what is the good example of closing the call, and see the feedback provided to him, and he can answer as well. Okay, let's jump to the next part, integrations. From the integrations part, we have number of connectors, some of which I've covered. So we have FTP, SFTP connector. To upload data, we have connectors to Cisco, we have SIP inbound, we have connectors to some recording systems, as well as real-time systems like MRCP and WebSocket. From the services and NLP part, what we have on top of what I have shown, we have tagging and topic detections. So tagging, it means like to tag all the calls which, for example, contains parts of customer verification. And if this part was inside the call, this call will be tagged with customer verification. If not, it will not be, and we can set up triggers. In analytics, we can set up tags, and that I was mentioned about and it is multilingual, and we can set up triggers. For example, if the session was containing silence more than 60%, just trigger email to administrator, to supervisor, to manager. Or if the session contains the topic food, then please just trigger email to this user. And this will be triggered automatically after the conversations end. So the manager of contact center can be sure that no conversations are, all the conversations are under control. Okay, let's go deeper. And that's the last part of my demo. It's API. So everything that you have seen here are provided through API. It means that customer can integrate the data of NLP analytics inside their BI system, CRM system, etc. We provide few types of integration, starting from SaaS and private cloud, and customer can integrate as much as possible, and to data lakes, etc., etc., etc. So we provide everything that you have seen through API. So basically that's it. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a great day.